Hey gang, Cthulhu2 here as always, and today I've got something a little bit different for you guys. This is going to be kind of a talky video. I guess you could consider it a blog or a podcast, something along those lines. I will have some gameplay footage up for you as per usual, just in case you want to have something to watch while you listen, but feel free to just pop this video in the background and just give it a listen if you prefer. Because I'll be talking about stuff that's really important to me, some plans and goals for the future of this channel slash my life, I guess you could say. And it's important to you as well, whether you are a longtime subscriber that still plans on sticking around for quite a while, or you're someone who's totally new to the channel and you're still kind of checking things out and deciding on whether you'd like to stick around or not. So please give it a really good listen if you care about what I'm doing on the channel and you want to hear about some of my plans and goals. So yeah, whether you're watching or having it in the background, fine by me. So let me just cut right to the chase here. Basically, the goal of this video is I want to talk about my plans. Like I mentioned, I want to make videos on YouTube as a full-time job. Now, I understand that everybody and their brother wants to do this, obviously. But I do have some specific reasons for wanting to do this, and just let me explain a little bit before you just say, oh, well, join the club, man. So anyway, let me go back a little ways to kind of explain my thought process getting to this point. So growing up, I never really had one thing that I was good at or one thing that I knew I wanted to do. I envy those kind of people. Like my little brother, he's always wanted to be an electrical engineer type of guy. Like ever since he was probably 7 or 8, he got into Lego robotics, and it's just been a descent into madness from there. He's going into school for electronic engineering right now, and he's just doing an amazing job, and he's cut out for that basically. And I've never had anything like that. I know a number of people who are in the same shoes as I am, and it's tough. Like I don't feel like I have a calling or anything like that. So as I was growing up and preparing to, start my own career in something, I kind of just followed in my dad's footsteps a little bit. He was a programmer and just worked in different IT fields like that when I was growing up. And I enjoyed working with computers and stuff, so I just kind of decided to go for that. I don't know. Today I work for a great company. I'm a contractor slash consultant in the IT field. What we do at the company is called integration. So basically, we work for a client for a specific project, and maybe they have some old legacy system using some old technology, and they need to bring in a new piece or something like that. So integration is basically just filling in the gap for the client. And the company I work for is amazing. Our bosses are great. We're still a small company, and we have some pretty big nationwide clients, so that part makes it fairly exciting, and the coworkers I have are all really cool. So I feel really blessed to be there. But I don't really like what I'm doing as far as the actual work. It's stuff that's not important to me. I'm not passionate about the type of work I'm doing, and as I sit here and think about the next 40-something years of my working life, I can't see myself doing what I do now for another 40-something years. And the problem is I can't think of anything else that I would be better at doing or would rather do, or would fit better with my skill set and my abilities. So with that in mind, cut back to over a year ago, I started my YouTube channel, Cthulhu2. I had been playing Minecraft for a while, and I had seen gameplay videos, and that kind of introduced me to the fact that, oh, there's all these YouTube channels who do nothing but video game videos, and they talk about stuff and whatnot. So that got me interested in it. I started my channel after finally getting a decent enough computer to be able to handle it, and I just started it for fun. I played video games. Creating videos and kind of producing content gave me an excuse to play video games, because then at least I had something to show for it, and I didn't feel like I was just wasting my time on games, because I'm kind of an adult. I kind of, have to be responsible and do adult things, so I can't justify just playing video games all the dang time. So that's why I started, and that was some of my reasoning for doing that, and it has been an absolute blast this over a year now. I've spent a heck of a lot of time on the channel, not just creating the videos and editing and rendering and uploading and all that stuff, but just a lot of behind the scenes stuff, a lot of trying to, create contacts with other people and build up friendships and find new ways to improve what I do and to promote myself and just find different outlets and things like that. So a lot of stuff that you guys may not notice. I am working really hard and I spend way too much of my free time doing YouTube stuff, but I enjoy it. And I realize I could spend hours and hours and hours doing YouTube related activities and it doesn't feel like work to me. I enjoy doing it. And I could wake up in the morning and think about, okay, well, I need to do all this YouTube stuff for the next 8 or so hours. And I could be excited about going to work if I was able to do this for a living. And I realized the only thing that is holding me back from being able to switch my profession, I guess you could say, the only thing really is exposure. If I would have started YouTubing like 2 or 3 years ago, something like that, I probably would have had a much better time because there weren't nearly as many people doing gaming videos back then. And starting when I did, like I mentioned, everybody and their brother wants to be able to be a full-time YouTuber. So there are a crap ton of channels out there. And it's really hard to get noticed nowadays because of that level of saturation. But the good thing is, though, that there are literally millions of people that are watching these gaming videos, whether it be League of Legends or Minecraft or Binding of Isaac or what have you. There are, what was it, like Sky Does Minecraft, I think he has like 8 million subscribers or something like that. There are a ton of people out there that are just waiting to watch videos. So, I won't be the next Sky Does Minecraft. I don't want to be defeatist or anything, but I want to be realistic as well. But there's also no reason why I can't reach my own goals of being able to become a full-time YouTuber. And that title of full-time could look different for any number of people. I don't expect to become a millionaire by doing this, but I do think that creating a channel and building up a channel that could support me and my wife and possible future baby Thulus is completely possible and realistic. And in this day and age, with the kind of technology I have, the kind of world we live in nowadays, I honestly believe that all it takes is a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication, and a couple sprinklings of luck here and there. But I do think it is something that's completely possible. So let me tell you some more about my reasons for wanting to switch my YouTube channel from just a hobby to a hobby/passion/job. First off, the most important reason for me is that I would much rather make less money and be happier in my life. Basically, I put a lot of thought into this now in my early 20s as I'm kind of looking forward to the expanse of my adult life and thinking about, the kind of life I will have. I live in the United States, and the kind of culture we have here is that from the time you're in your 20s until the time you're in your 60s and you can retire, so like that span of 40-something years, you will work 9 to 5 at least 5 days a week, sometimes evenings, sometimes weekends, and you will make as much money as possible so that you can have the biggest house possible, the biggest car possible, maybe cabin up north, maybe a boat, maybe a summer house down in the south or something like that. Basically, so you can have the highest standard of living possible and you can keep up with the Joneses, like be as good or better than your neighbors, stuff like that. And I did a little bit of math and I looked this up as well. If you take all the hours that the average person will work and put them all together, all back to back, that is a solid 9 years of your life. Like 24/7, 9 years of your life that are devoted to work. So I was thinking, I would much rather spend more time on things that really matter. I would rather spend more time with people I care about, my wife, my future children, my family, my siblings, my really close friends. That kind of stuff I feel is what really matters in life, is spending time with the people that you care about and that care about you, and just experiencing life, not necessarily just sitting at a desk, clicking it away a computer for the better part of your life. So that really is what motivates me to be able to do something I love for a living, because not only would I enjoy spending the time that I am earning that income, but being able to basically be my own business in this sense would really free me up to do that kind of stuff that I really feel is important. Spending time in other people's lives, making an impact in their lives, and just being able to make memories and stuff like that. So that is my huge main motivating factor. Another really important thing to me is I want to be able to help other people that have the same values and goals that I do. So if I were ever to get to be a pretty decently sized channel where it's able to support me, I would absolutely love to help other people realize that goal as well. And when I look at kind of the field of YouTube right now with all the major players on it, very, very few of them seem to do that kind of thing. Like, I realize once you have millions of subscribers, you can't have a personal relationship with every single one of them. It's just impossible. But when you have that kind of viewership base, you could do something as simple as a shout out to a small or mid-sized channel that you know of, and that would be absolutely huge for them. So it baffles my mind that people don't take more advantage of that once they do reach a level of success. It kind of ticks me off that people don't. I mean, you shouldn't feel obligated to share your success with others, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that as a person, as a human being, trying to help out your fellow human beings that are doing similar things that you are doing, I think that's something that's really important. And, well, at least it's important to me. You guys may feel differently, but I feel like if I ever reach that point where I could really make a big difference in someone else's channel, if they're doing things for the right reason, I absolutely want to be able to do that. And to an extent, like, even now when I'm still a small channel, I try to do that when I can. I try to give shout-outs here and there, and I try to get subscribers that have channels involved in stuff that I'm doing and things of that nature. So that's something that I want to stay true to throughout the rest of my YouTube career, however long that may go, however successful that may possibly be or not. That's something that I want to really stick to. So those are my main reasons for wanting to evolve this hobby into a full-time job. Being able to be happier throughout my life, not being focused on just acquiring wealth, and then being able to help other people that have the same goals that I do. So, with all that being said, let me talk about some of my goals that I have, just basic stretch goals, that kind of thing. So like I mentioned, I really want to stay authentic as this channel grows. It's been a slow growth over the last year. I haven't jumped from 100 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers in the course of the year. So that's made it easier for me to stay grounded as things progress. But I want to make sure that I maintain that, whether I hit 10 million subscribers or I peak at 10,000, I want to stay authentic. I want to keep in touch with you guys as best as possible. I don't want to come across as a sellout. And if I ever seem like I'm just money grubbing or trying to get subscribers just for the number, I want you guys that really follow the channel to call me out on that and let me know, Cthulhu, you seem to be changing and I don't like how you're changing. Let me know. Seriously. I'm being very serious about that. I always want to stay authentic with what I'm doing and just stay a cool guy that cares about the people that are going along on this journey with him. And let's see, also, so, my long stretch goal is obviously to quit my full-time job I have and be able to do YouTube. But kind of my mid-range goal is being able to quit that job and then do YouTube plus some kind of part-time job. so that I can start devoting a larger portion of my time to YouTube, but I'll also have that reliable source of income from a part-time job. I have no idea what that would be. I wouldn't really care at that point. I would just be so excited that I'm actually progressing that I would scrub toilets part-time and be totally fine with that, honestly. And then, you know, hopefully progress from there to switching to YouTube full-time. So that's a really simplified version of it. And what I like to do now is just ask for your guys' help. If you enjoy my content, if you enjoy what I do on this channel of youtube.com/user/Cthulhu2, there's a lot of ways that you guys can help me out. If you agree with what I've just said, if you agree with my reasoning, and if you approve of it, and if you want to see me succeed, there's a lot of stuff you guys can do to help me out. And the easiest and most basic ways you can do that is through liking videos and leaving comments. A ton of you comment all the time, and I love it, and I do my best to respond to as many comments as I can, and I really want to continue doing that for as long as humanly possible. If I'm getting 1 million views on a video, I still want to go through and at least, you know, respond to a good number of comments, because it really doesn't take that long. If I only have one video up a day, I can easily just go through one video and, you know, respond at random to as many comments as I possibly can. So I love interacting with you guys via comments, and thank you so much to those of you who are very active commenters. That is amazing. And a lot of you leave likes as well, and that's something, I mean, it takes a split second. You just click a button, so it's really easy for you guys to do. I try to do that fairly often when I'm watching videos myself, and it really helps me out. Like, that is a huge factor for how YouTube as a company treats the content producers that it houses. It's what do they call it? Viewer interaction or something like that. And I think dislikes go towards that same counter as well. So if you guys are watching a video that you honestly don't like, or I'm doing a series that you do not like, feel free to leave a dislike. I'm very serious about that. It doesn't hurt me at all. It gives me good feedback, letting me know that something's up. A more useful form of feedback would be a comment saying, like, hey, I don't like X for Y reason. But seriously, like, if you don't enjoy it, leave a dislike. That'll let me know something's up. So that kind of stuff, I hate to ask for it, but I've heard from multiple sources that it is important to bring that up every once in a while, because sometimes people just don't think about it. So if you're watching a video and you enjoyed it at all, or you just enjoy what I do and support me in general, leaving a like and or a comment is an absolutely huge thing that you can do for me. Also, you could tell other people about the channel or about a specific video you enjoyed, something like that. Twitter is a great and easy way to do that, as well as Facebook. They have obviously share links embedded in each video to make that super easy for you to do. And something that a lot of people may not do is actually, you know, spreading news by word of mouth. It's kind of old school nowadays, but it's still very effective. I mean, obviously you probably have your own group of friends at school or at work, you know, depending on how old you are. And if you think they would enjoy the kind of content I make, just like you enjoy it, go ahead and tell them about it. Say, hey, I'm subscribed to this channel, this goofy guy named Cthulhu2. He makes silly videos and he derps around a lot, and I think you may get a kick out of it. That kind of word of mouth can be really important, because those people already know you, they probably trust your opinion, so they're like, oh yeah, I think I'll go check that out. It carries a lot more weight to it than just seeing a link via Twitter, if that makes any sense. And then lastly, the other thing I want to mention as far as how you can help me out, I am going to be starting, well, I have started a Patreon campaign. That's something that's been getting a lot of notice lately, and I think for good reason. I know a number of people that have started that up recently, and it's something I'm really excited about and I have a lot of faith in. I'll give you a quick rundown of it if you're not familiar. So basically, Patreon is kind of like an ongoing Kickstarter for content producers. It could be people who make like actual short videos or feature-length videos, or they make music, or just kind of any artistic kind of thing. it's a Kickstarter for them. You can pledge monthly support to them because you enjoy what they do, you like their content, and you think they're cool people. And you can do anything from as low as $1 a month, up to whatever you're comfortable with, and you have the freedom to be able to cancel that anytime. If you decide, you know what, I can't afford to keep doing this, or this person has changed and I just don't like what they do anymore, or something like that. So there's a lot of freedom. There's very low risk to people who actually want to support content producers via Patreon. And then the nice thing for me is I'm able to set certain goals. So like if I hit X dollars per month of support, I will start doing this kind of thing to give back to you guys. And I can do certain rewards. So if you personally give X dollars per month, then I will do this kind of thing for you. So that's really fun. That provides a lot of interaction. That provides a lot of encouragement. And I think it's a really cool idea. And the whole website seems like it's run really, really well and very professional and very well thought out. So the reason I'm starting this up is because with YouTube ads running on videos, it's a very unreliable source of income. And with Patreon, it is a steady / reliable monthly source of income. So if people have pledged to give, if a bunch of people pledge and it adds up to like $30 a month, I can more or less count on that. And it's something that, for just starting out and still being a really small channel, that kind of, what am I trying to say? Just having that steady and reliable source is really important. It kind of lets me gauge more like, okay, I actually am reaching this type of amount per month. I'm this close to being able to, reach my next life goal of quitting my job and picking up a part-time job and things like that. Like, I think I can count on this much per month, so I have the faith to be able to move on to the next stage, that kind of thing. And that really is better than YouTube because you have no idea how much each video is going to bring in. So I don't think it's a replacement for YouTube for people who want to do this kind of thing full-time, but I think it's a great supplement to that, and I think it's only going to get more prevalent as people try to do this type of thing on their own more and more. And then for you guys, if you feel like doing this, that's a huge if. I'm not trying to guilt you into this at all. I really hope it doesn't come across that way because I would feel like a total scumbag. But if you really enjoy what I do and you really agree with what I'm talking about in this video and you really want to help me out in the future and you are financially set enough so that you can do something, the crowdfunding aspect of it makes it really easy for you guys to all add up just little by little, and then it all adds up to a really huge impact for me. So I'm sitting at over 1,000 subscribers right now. If everybody gave $1 a month, that would be huge. Like, I would almost be able to quit my job at that point, quite honestly. That'd be massive. If I managed to grow this channel, no, let me rephrase that. That sounds sucky. If we managed to grow this channel to 50,000 subscribers, that's a big stretch goal for me, and half of those people gave 50 cents a month, I would be 100% set, and I would be able to start taking some of that monthly support and then giving it to other people who are trying to do the same thing. Because I don't need to be rich. Honestly, I don't give a crap. I don't need much to make me happy. I just want to be able to be in charge of my own life and not have to, quote unquote, work for the man the rest of my life and just be able to focus on what I enjoy. So if this ever gets to the point where I'm making more money than I honestly need, I would absolutely love to start helping out other people by taking some of that excess and then just spreading it out to other people that I know of that are trying to do the same thing. So it's that crowdfunding aspect. A little bit from a lot of people going to one person really, really adds up. So I will have links to different social media sites that I have set up if you guys want to be able to share those out. I'll have a link to Patreon page And I have it more or less set up. There's still a few things I want to tweak here and there. But if you can support, absolutely any level of support is super appreciated. There'll be more information on the page, and you can kind of click through it and check things out. I may even have a separate video just to kind of show you guys how it's laid out and explain things to you a little bit better, stuff like that. If you really like the idea and you just can't support, which is totally fine, if you even share out the page, that would be a huge help too. Just help to get that level of exposure out there. Because I kind of touched on this before, but I didn't really go into detail on it. Exposure is really the one thing that keeps small to mid-range YouTubers down. There's just so many guys out there, it's really hard to get noticed. You could be making the most hilarious, amazing gameplay plus commentary videos, but if nobody ends up seeing them, it doesn't matter. Like, you're not going to be able to grow at all. So getting that exposure out there is, in my opinion, I mean, okay, so first you have to have good content, obviously. But then the second most important aspect is getting noticed. So any kind of sharing, liking, word of mouth kind of stuff you can do, it helps me out tremendously. So anyway, I've been talking for a long time. I really, really hope that I got my thought process out to you guys well. I hope I came across in the right way. I'm not trying to be money grubbing here. I'm not trying to be greedy. I'm not trying to sell out and become a big time YouTuber and just, you know, see as many of you subscribers slash viewers slash friends as numbers as possible. So yeah, if I came across the wrong way at all, please let me know. I do not want that to happen. But regardless, thank you so much for watching and or listening to this long discussion about me and my channel and my goals and things like that. Thank you so much to those of you who have stuck with the channel for a long time. Many of you have. Thank you so much to all the newcomers, whether you came over from seeing me in a couple Vex videos, which a lot of you have, or you just found out about me through, you know, through YouTube recommendations or just randomly finding me or something like that. It's really humbling to think that there are over 1,000 people in the world who saw what I do on YouTube and thought it was worth sticking around to see more. That feels absolutely amazing, and I can't thank you guys enough. So I hope that you guys will stick around for the long term with me and support me as I try to turn this hobby into my dream job. Yeah, I have a lot of hopes for that. I'm really excited for the future, and I think it's completely possible. So, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys for a long time to come.